Welcome to today's news. You are watching Millennium News Hour and I am Tanzeeba Noreen. Here are the latest trending news stories from across the globe. Let's dive into today's top headlines. President Trump approved emergency aid for Kentucky after severe storms. Trump pushes Supreme Court to expand presidential power over agencies. Trump's Energy Department fires 350 nuclear workers. Trump administration fires FAA workers weeks after deadly plane crash. Musk's task force at IRS sparks concerns over taxpayer data security. Governor Hochul urges continued fight for equality at NYS Black and Puerto Rican legislators' gala. Meta faces challenges in controlling sexualized AI deepfake images on Facebook. South Korean actor Kim Se-ron found dead at home in Seoul. Netanyahu seeks Trump's support for attack on Iran's nuclear sites. UK and Sweden consider troops for post-war Ukraine as Trump promotes European security. Djokovic calls for overhaul of unfair anti-doping system in tennis. And Tiger Woods says LIV PGA unification talks are progressing, Trump involved. You are listening to Headlines Now News in detail. President Donald Trump approved an emergency declaration for Kentucky after severe storms, strong winds, flooding and landslides hit the state starting on February 14, 2025. The declaration allowed federal assistance to support state and local response efforts. The decision authorized the Federal Emergency Management Agency to lead disaster relief efforts and help affected communities. FEMA will provide emergency aid, including equipment and resources to protect lives, property, and public health. Emergency protective measures will receive 75% federal funding. FEMA has already started coordinating relief operations in all 120 counties of Kentucky. Jeremy Slinker has been appointed to oversee federal recovery efforts in the affected areas. The agency is working closely with the state and local officials to ensure quick assistance. More federal aid may be provided if needed, and officials will continue to monitor the situation. Residents impacted by the disaster are encouraged to seek assistance through FEMA. President Donald Trump removed the heads of several independent agencies, leading to legal battles that may bring a key Supreme Court ruling from 1935 into question. Since retaking office, Trump fired officials from the National Labor Relations Board, the Merit Systems Protection Board, the Office of Government Ethics, and Special Counsel Hampton Dellinger, who handled whistleblower complaints. Some fired officials have sued, arguing that federal laws protect them from removal without cause. However, Trump has maintained that executive branch officials should align with his administration's policies. Legal experts believe the president's actions could push the Supreme Court to reconsider Humphrey's executive versus United States, a decision that limits a president's power to fire certain officials. The Justice Department has signaled it will ask the Supreme Court to overturn this ruling. Justices Clarence Thomas and Neil Gorsuch have already expressed support for reversing it. If the court agrees, future presidents will have more power over independent agencies. Trump's legal team is expected to present its case soon, setting up a major constitutional debate over presidential authority. The Trump administration fired hundreds of federal workers from the National Nuclear Security Administration, but later reversed most of the decisions. The NNSA manages the U.S. nuclear weapons stockpile. On February 13, 2025, up to 350 NNSA employees lost their jobs, according to 3 U.S. officials. Some workers found out only when they lost access to their emails. One of the hardest hit sites was the Pantex plant in Texas, where warheads are reassembled. These employees hold high security clearances. The firings were part of a broader Department of Energy staff cut, impacting about 2,000 employees. Many nuclear experts warned that the move could weaken national security. The DOE initially claimed fewer than 50 NNSA workers lost jobs, mostly in administrative roles, but officials said that was false. By February 14, 2025, the administration reinstated most employees except 28. Some workers uncertain about their future considered not returning. The NNSA is currently modernizing its nuclear weapons program, a $750 billion effort. Experts warned the instability could benefit U.S. adversaries. The Trump administration fired several hundred Federal Aviation Administration employees, affecting air travel just weeks after a fatal meteor crash in Washington, D.C. in January. The firings started late Friday night, with workers receiving emails informing them they had lost their jobs. David Sparrow, president of the Professional Aviation Safety Specialists Union, called the decision shameful, saying it would increase workloads and weaken aviation safety. The fired employees included safety inspectors, mechanics, and administrative staff. Some were locked out of FAA buildings. The FAA has struggled with staff shortages for years. Controllers have been overworked, leading to safety concerns. The January 29 crash involving a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter and an American Airlines plane happened when a single controller managed both flights. Investigators are still examining the cause. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announced that a team for SpaceX, led by Elon Musk, would visit the FAA's command center this week. He also planned to visit Oklahoma to review air traffic control training. Meanwhile, critics warned that the firings could further strain air travel safety in the future. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. The presence of Elon Musk's cost-cutting task force, the Department of Government Efficiency at the IRS, has raised concerns about taxpayer data security and possible delays in tax refunds. Democratic Senators Ron Wyden and Elizabeth Warren sent a letter to the IRS warning that DOGE is pressuring the agency to allow its engineers access to IRS systems and private tax data. Reports say DOGE sought access to the IRS Integrated Data Retrieval System, which holds tax records for millions of Americans and businesses. The White House confirmed DOGE's presence at the IRS, but the agency has not responded. DOGE supporters believe it will reduce government spending. However, critics worry about privacy risks and potential violations of tax laws. Wyden and Warren argued that Musk's team has no right to access tax return information and could be breaking the law. DOGE's involvement comes during the busy tax season. Lawmakers warned that interference with IRS systems could cause refund delays, which could financially hurt millions. Meanwhile, the IRS is preparing to fire thousands of workers, which could further disrupt tax operations. Governor Kathy Hochul delivered passionate remarks at the New York State Association of Black and Puerto Rican Legislators' annual scholarship gala. She reflected on the origins of several social justice movements, including the civil rights movement and the LGBTQ+ rights movement, all of which began in New York. She expressed concern over the treatment of the transgender community and emphasized the need to continue fighting discrimination. Hochul highlighted New York's recent achievements such as the Clean Slate Law and Reparations Commission, and announced plans for free community college for those aged 25 to 55. She pledged to continue supporting New Yorkers by easing financial burdens, including a $5,000 utility bill relief plan. In her address, Hochul called on New York to lead the fight for justice on a national level, urging fellow Democrats and elected officials to stay engaged and ready to confront challenges head-on. Meta has been under scrutiny for failing to adequately control the spread of sexualized AI-generated deepfake images of celebrities, including Miranda Cosgrove, Janet McCurdy, Ariana Grande, Scarlett Johansson, and Maria Sharapova. These images, which depicted celebrities in explicit, manipulated forms, were widely shared across Facebook, attracting hundreds of thousands of likes and reshares. While Meta has removed many of these posts, it acknowledged that the issue remains widespread. A spokesperson stated that the company is working to improve its detection technology. The company also faces pressure from its oversight board, which has recommended clearer rules and stronger enforcement against non-consensual deepfake content. This form of abuse continues to grow, with the UK government predicting that the number of deepfake images shared will reach 8 million in 2025. Meta is exploring further measures to address this growing problem and ensure better privacy protection for individuals. Now it's time for global updates. Kim Se-ron, a 24-year-old South Korean actor, was found dead at her home in Seoul. A friend discovered her body and contacted the police. Authorities believe she may have taken her own life, but have not confirmed the cause of death. No signs of foul play were found and no suicide note was left behind. Kim gained fame for her role in the 2010 film The Man from Nowhere, where she portrayed a kidnapped child. She earned several awards for her performances, including Best New Actress at the Korean Film Awards. However, her career faced a major setback after a drunk driving incident in 2022, which led to public backlash and difficulty securing new roles. Her last appearance was in the 2023 Netflix series Bloodhounds, though much of her role was cut due to the controversy. Fans and the entertainment industry will likely remember her for her past successes and tragic end. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. You are watching latest global updates. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu aimed to get US President Donald Trump's backing for airstrikes on Iran's nuclear sites. Netanyahu believed with Trump's support, Israel could finish the job of weakening Iran's nuclear threat. Israeli officials suggested military action could happen in the first half of 2025, with the US playing a key role in providing aerial refueling and intelligence support. While Trump preferred a deal with Iran, he made clear he would consider military action if negotiations failed. In 2018, Trump withdrew from the nuclear agreement with Iran, and tensions escalated after Iran advanced its nuclear capabilities. As Israel continues its campaign against Iran's allies, like Hezbollah, it sees a vulnerable moment to strike. US intelligence warned that any attack would only delay Iran's program by a few months, potentially pushing Tehran closer to weapons-grade uranium. Time is running out for a diplomatic solution, with the window closing by fall 2025. European leaders met in Paris to discuss recent actions by President Donald Trump regarding Ukraine. The meeting followed US Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth's announcement that the US would shift its security focus away from Europe. Trump also expressed plans for unilateral talks with Russia to end the war in Ukraine. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer stated that the UK was prepared to send troops to Ukraine if needed to secure a lasting peace. He emphasized the importance of European collective security, saying the situation was existential for Europe. Sweden's Foreign Minister Maria Malmer Stenergard also expressed a willingness to deploy forces to ensure peace after a fair agreement was reached. While Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk opposed sending Polish troops, he stressed the need for increased defense spending to prevent a wider conflict. Starmer planned to visit Washington next week to meet with Trump, marking the first in-person meeting between the two leaders since Trump's re-election. Let's have a look on today's sports stories. Novak Djokovic called for a major change in tennis anti-doping system, highlighting inconsistencies in how players' cases were handled. Djokovic criticized the system after Jannik Sinner's 3-month ban for testing positive for clostebol, which was reduced after World Anti-Doping Agency withdrew its appeal. He also pointed to Iga Swiatek's 1-month ban for a hard drug as another example of unequal treatment. Djokovic mentioned that many players were unhappy with how cases were managed, feeling there was favoritism towards top players who had access to better legal support. He also referred to the 4-year ban given to Simona Halep in 2022, later reduced after her appeal. Djokovic believes it's time for the tennis governing bodies to come together and create a more fair and consistent approach to anti-doping. He stated that the current system lacks transparency and trust among players. He hopes for changes in the near future. Tiger Woods believes LIV golfers could return to the PGA Tour in 2025 after talks led by President Donald Trump. Golf has been divided since the Saudi-backed LIV circuit started in 2022, with top players moving from the PGA Tour to LIV. Despite an agreement between the PGA and Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund in 2023, progress has been slow. Woods stated that recent meetings, including one at the White House with Trump, PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan, and board member Adam Scott, have brought positive changes. He believes the PGA and LIV will reunite soon, bringing all top players together. Woods, who had previously been focused on PGA interests, now supports the idea of both PGA and LIV players participating in each other's events. Woods also reflected on the death of his mother, Kulteda, who passed away on February 4. His playing plans for 2025 remain uncertain, with focus shifting to upcoming tournaments. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 20,130.49. The NYSE Composite is decreased by 50.80 points or 0.25%. Tokyo stock close price is 39,174.25. The Nikkei 225 index is increased by 24.82 points or 0.06%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,355.83. The Shanghai index is increased by 9.11 points or 0.27%. Hong Kong stock close price is 22,616.23. The Hang Seng index is decreased by 4.10 points or 0.02%. Bombay stock close price is 75,996.86. The Sensex index is increased by 57.65 points or 0.08%. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. President Trump approved emergency aid for Kentucky after severe storms. Trump pushes Supreme Court to expand presidential power over agencies. Trump's Energy Department fires 350 nuclear workers. Trump administration fires FAA workers weeks after deadly plane crash. Musk's task force at IRS sparks concerns over taxpayer data security. Governor Hochul urges continued fight for equality at NY's Black and Puerto Rican legislators' gala. Meta faces challenges in controlling sexualized AI deepfake images on Facebook. South Korean actor Kim Se-ron found dead at home in Seoul. Netanyahu seeks Trump's support for attack on Iran's nuclear sites. UK and Sweden consider troops for post-war Ukraine as Trump promotes European security. Djokovic calls for overhaul of unfair anti-doping system in tennis. And Tiger Woods says LIV PGA unification talks are progressing, Trump involved. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel and visit our websites. Our website addresses are www.millenniumnews24.com and www.millenniumtv24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all smart TVs and Roku TV, Amazon TV, Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.